Yeah. Well, I'm gonna just show very briefly what we have been doing. My name is Miguel Arana. I've been working the last 4 years in the city council in Madrid, where we try to be ambitious and try to open as much as we can the institution to the people and to let the people take the most important decisions on the city council. And we created this project that was called the Consul Project. It was a digital platform to allow really the people to be involved in the daily work of the city council from the very beginning. That was something that was started actually outside the city council, because before the city council, and that was the important transition moment, we had a huge social movement in Spain for 4 years, some kind of like Occupy Wall Street version in Spain. It was called the Indignados, the Indignant movement, in a wave of movement where after the Arab Spring, it was in Spain, the Occupy, and then we saw the movements in the umbrella movement in Asia, in Turkey, and so on. So there was a moment where we saw that globally the people were asking for a different kind of institution, where people were saying like, okay, we have really to go beyond elections. I think one of the important things is probably when we're not going beyond elections, always democracy is about the elections. It's about who has the power, it's about the politicians, the people, and we're like obsessed with that. And we think we understood that we should stop talking about that and just focusing on the problems and the solutions, so trying to work differently with democracy. So we developed this project to try to just focus on that, on what is happening with the city and what can we do. We built this digital platform as an open source platform we can share also with other governments to start involving people. So for example, we had citizen proposals. People can send ideas for the city and just collect supports, and then the proposal who get more support, we just do it. So people create ideas and we just do it in the city council. We had a space for example, this one, some of the ideas that people were voting was mentioned before. For example, people were proposing a plan to have a more sustainable city. People were proposing to change the public ticket of transport of the city. So suddenly the people focus not on the politician, not on the political parties, but on what we want to change in our city. And wow, with the environment, the public transportation, wonderful. So it really changed the game on what is democracy and what is politics. We were voting also, for example, there was a space for voting on redevelopments on the city. For example, where this is one of the main squares of the city, and where people were voting which square they wanted and how they imagined the new square before, if they wanted to have like more bike lanes or trees or parking spots or whatever. So really try to involve the people in the decisions in the city. For example, this is the new square that we're going to have in Madrid. It was voted and decided and designed by the people in Madrid. We were also involving people in the daily decision, in the regulation, in the new ordinances and the new laws in the city. Every time we have changed a new regulation, we have open space for people to really be part of it, having debates on the most important issues on the new regulation, or just getting proposals on how to do the regulation, or even just working on the legal text. That was very important. Every time there was a new regulation, we published the legal text and people were able to comment the different parts, like this part is not good and we have a new idea for that part, and so on. So not just the general things, but all the very specific things that we were doing, and we saw how efficient we get when we open to the collective intelligence of the city and we involve in people. Because also there's something that happened inside the government. We are used to work only with our experts, and usually always there are brilliant experts inside. But when we open the possibility for the outside expert to be part of it, we discovered that there are many more experts outside, and they are really willing to participate and be part of it. And then even the public workers and the people inside are really surprised and say, wow, we have done this much before, because it's really great. And of course, participatory budgeting, that was also very important. But for us, it's very important to emphasize that this is only like one part, one way to involve people. But there's a lot of ways to involve people, and it's great to really open as many as we can. We have been doing this 100 million euros participatory budgeting every year, so people were proposing a lot of ideas and projects for the city and the district, and voting how they want to use the money. Every year we have around 300 projects that we're winning, and from big projects like having a new network of bike lanes all over the city to something very specific for the district. And again, when we see the results and where people were voting, we are really amazed. Half of the projects people were voting had to do with the environment, to have a more green, clean, sustainable city. Half of them had to do with social issues like gender violence, like homeless, like people with Alzheimer's disease, and so on. This is like the top proposals that were voted. So it was great really to discover how people were responsible with the money and what we were doing. So it's really changing the thing. And just the last image that I want to share, this is very important. This project we have been doing it not alone, and this is very important not to work alone. We made this platform as an open source platform. So we offer it to other governments to use it. It's free, you can just take it, use it, and it's perfect. And now there's more than 130 cities using the same platform, working together, any kind of governments, like more liberal, more conservative governments, working together, forgetting about the political parties, the situation, the ideologies, understanding that they have to include this new kind of democracy, and if we work together, it's going to be better. So big cities like Buenos Aires, even national governments like Colombia, like Jalisco, whatever places. So it's really something that's a new trend, it's something changing, and it's great also to see how we can collaborate with the civil society, but also between governments to make it more effective and more to have a deep impact in our societies. Thank you very much.